plan today is to bring the shine back into this Miata, and what I'm really going to go over is how to get some sticker marks or shadows or whatever that's been baked into the paint over time. When I got this car, it had an eagle sticker on both fenders. I fixed the passenger side by replacing the fender because it was all smashed anyway, and the driver's side I've just never really got around to fixing. So that's what I'm about to work on. So I'm gonna get to it. So step one is going to be filling the car wash bucket with some water and some car wash. Alright, so we're going to take some sandpaper, and I got from 1500, 1200, 1000, 800, and 600. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw those all in the water. Just let them sit in there. And I'm going to start with the 6, and I'm going to work my way up and do a little bit of sanding with each one until I get to the 1500. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure, and I'm not going to do too much sanding. So I'm just trying to dull the area. Okay, so it's still visible. So I'm just going to go with the 6 until I can eliminate the outline of that. The eagle is gone, but now we have a dull spot. So of course we have to go through and correct that. So that's why I'm going to step up to each different level of sandpaper. I'll go to the 800, then to the 1000, 1200, and the 1500. And each time I do it, it's going to become slightly less dull, but it won't ever become as shiny as the regular stuff. Well, unfortunately, on just the second pass of sandpaper, the 800, I ended up going through the paint, and I'm starting to see gray primer. So that kind of sucks, but I'm going to stop here and go on to the next step to keep it from going any further. I'd rather have the little gray spot than the eagle outline, but it just goes to show you paint is thin, so you need to be careful. It probably would have been best to just do a few small passes of the 6 and then continue on with the rest, few small passes here and there, instead of just trying to get rid of the eagle completely on the 600. But I guess you live and you learn. So the next step is going to be some rubbing compound of some kind and a cloth. I'm just going to do it by hand instead of a machine, as I've already burned through the paint. I don't want to make it worse. Alright, so as you can see, I was able to save it and get it back to a similar shine that it had before, if not slightly better in kind of the flat spots. The irony of it all is that the eagle sticker outline, because it baked and I guess pulled the paint, it actually is where the primer started showing through, and so it's a lot less noticeable, but there is still the hint of that eagle outline sticker, and the only way I know of to actually correct that is to do some new paint on there. I did have to go back and hit it with the additional steps of sandpaper. I did them really light because the rubbing compound just wasn't pulling that 800 grit sand back to a similar shine. There was a very noticeable step in it, so I did have to go and do that, and I was just really careful to do a light amount, but with a lot of elbow grease afterwards I was able to pull that shine back out of it. But paint correction has never really been a strong thing of mine, but that is why I started this channel, to push myself to do some things I'm not so good at, learn along the way, and try to make it a little bit better. But I'm going to go through and do the rest of the car, not the wet sanding process, but the polish and shine, just to make it look a bit good again. It's got some bad oxidization all over the whole car, and I'll wrap the video up showing you the results of that. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you want to see more detail about how I do this, let me know. I've got another vehicle I've got to clean up, and it's actually a lot worse than this, so I could do that. Just put it in the comments. But I mean, overall, I'm happy with how it came out. It's not perfect, but a lot of the spots on there are actually damaged paint. There's some deep scratches still in there, but it's shiny, and that's good enough for me. It's probably the shiniest car that I have, so I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching, guys.